Hi, I'm Claire from Inspiratrix Yoga. Today's practice is all about cultivating the inner fire. We'll be doing lots of poses for the legs and the hips to really get us warmed up and feeling the legs and perhaps feeling wobbliness in the legs. And also we'll be using Ujay Breathing. Now, if you've never done Ujay Breathing before, it's a yoga breathing technique that's kind of whispery. As you breathe in and out, that you make a whispering sound. Let me put a link to that up there, and you can go do that video if you've never done Ujjayi before, just to get up to speed on that. Props-wise today, you would need something like a cushion or a chunky yoga block or a rolled up blanket for one or two of the poses we'll be doing. Enjoy the class. Bringing your awareness to your body, to how you feel today. And tune into what you need from your practice. Whether that's more of a sense of flow or to burn off your stress, or to find your center. Just ask yourself internally, what is it that I need today? I've got a practice for you today that is around building the fire inside. But if that doesn't feel good for you, if you actually want to be building more of a sense of kind of calm and coolness inside, know that you can also be using your Ujay breath and your practice to do that. Let's start with some Bromery breathing, which is where you inhale through the nose with Ujay breath. And then when you exhale, you're going to do some humming. Let's start with doing that. Making the humming sound on the exhale, but sending that humming and vibration to the chest area and the upper back area. So maybe rest both hands around the collarbones. Inhale deeply through the nose. And then hum on your exhale on any note, feeling for getting the chest area and maybe the shoulder area to vibrate. You could try notes that are higher, you could try notes that are lower, or you could try varying the pitch. Let's do two more, sending this vibration to the upper part of the torso, inhaling through the nose and then humming on your exhale. Really loudly. And then one more. Now let's focus on the middle of the torso. So maybe place one hand on your solar plexus and one hand on the mid-back behind. And you'll do 3 Bromery breaths now. Again, feeling for creating this vibration as you hum and sending that vibration down to the area of the solar plexus and the middle of your torso. Feel if you can find the right pitch that for you will make that area kind of buzzy and warm. Inhale through the nose and then hum as loudly as you can. Any note that you feel works for you. Do 2 more Bromery breaths, focusing on this area. Great. Now take your hands down onto, say, one hand on the belly, one hand on the lower back. And we'll be doing 3 Bromery breaths, sending the vibrations down to this area. You're sending that to your whole kind of lower abdominal area, feeling if you can get that sense of vibration there. And I find for kind of getting in contact with this area, low notes work quite well. So play with some low notes. Let's do 3. Making the sound as loud as you can. Once you finish that round, then come back to Ujjayi breathing. Creating that whispering sound as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Close your eyes, just coming back to the deep breath. And perhaps picking one quality that you want more of, one quality that you're cultivating through your practice, whether that's a sense of inner fire or a sense of calm or whatever it is that you need today. Knowing that you can choose your intent for you in your practice, even if the class teacher's offering something else. Let's do unlocking the hips now. Bring the soles of your feet together. And then the knees are out to the side. Just to kind of ease into our stiff hips today. Take both hands around your right thigh. Inhale and rock onto your left sitting bone. Lift the right hip up a little. Exhale, use both hands, lengthen your right thigh bone away from the right hip, and then place that hip down on the floor. Now, inhale and take your right hand onto the right inner thigh, pressing the hand against the thigh bone. Exhale and lean towards the other side. So leaning away from the leg you're pressing on. Stay with your Ujjayi breath through this whole practice. And in this pose, feel for connecting your breath with your hips. To bring more warmth and mobility there. Or whatever you want to cultivate right now. Then we'll change this a bit. Take both hands either side of your left knee. Lean forward in a mini forward bend, but keep breathing into the right hip. If you're pregnant, stay at an angle where you're not compressing the belly. In every pose, staying with your Ujjayi breath. Okay, straighten your spine up, come back to the middle. We'll do all that on the other side. Take both hands around the left thigh, just to make more space in the hip joint. Inhale and rock onto your right hip. Let the left hip lift up. Exhale, use both your hands on the leg. Lengthen the leg bone away from the hip and then bring your left sitting bone down to the floor. Inhale, keeping your left hand on the left inner thigh. Exhale, leaning to the right, pressing the hand against the thigh. Inhale, sending breath down to your hips. Exhale, feel for softening around the hip area. Then come into that second position, a bit of a forward bend, leaning towards your right knee. Take the hands either side of the knee, or hands could be on the legs if that's where they fall. Keep directing breath down to the hips. And slightly press the soles of your feet together. So you can feel the feet and feel your legs. Okay, ease out of that. Straighten out your legs and give them a shake. Good. Okay, so we'll do some abdominal work on the back now. Lie down on your back for leg dips. So just starting with your head, shoulders flat on the floor, and they'll stay on the floor, and your feet on the floor, and they will just be lifting one leg at a time. Ujjayi inhale, sending breath to your hips. Exhale, slowly lift the left leg up off the floor. Pull the lower belly down. Just come so far as the knees over the hip. The knee isn't moving all the way to the chest. Inhale, lowering the left foot down to the floor. Have the foot active. Exhale, lift the right leg up. Pull the lower belly down. Inhale, foot to the floor. Feel for cultivating whatever quality you want to cultivate with your breath. On the exhale, lifting the left leg. Moving the belly down. Keep going, leg dips, people. Building your connection to your core and cultivating whatever qualities that you want in your core. If you're pregnant, what you'll be doing during this next one is some side bends. So either coming into maybe coming into some moving side bends, coming into them and then to the other side. Just playing with that, but continuing to work with your Ujjayi breath. Leg dips, people. Finish off next time you do a right leg round. And then pause, just continuing to cultivate whatever quality you want to whatever quality you want to cultivate inside. Okay, so people doing abs on your back, we'll do elbow to knee now. This is kind of the more advanced version of elbow to knee. So if this feels stressful to your back at all, if this feels painful to the lower back, return to doing leg dips that we did just now. All right, so hands clasped behind the head, lying on the floor, and then pick both feet up off the floor with the knees bent. Inhale, lift that head and shoulders up. Head and shoulders are going to stay up in elbow to knee. Pause, press the lower back down and curl the tailbone up. Exhale, point both elbows towards your left knee. Straighten your right leg out about 45 degrees to the floor. Pull the belly down. Inhale, bend the knee, bring the head and shoulders to the middle. Pause, press the lower back down, curl the tailbone up without bringing the knees in. Exhale, elbows go to the right, left leg extends. Spread out the toes on the left foot and pull the lower belly down. Inhale, bend the knee, bring the elbows to the middle. Make sure you're still using your Ujjayi. Pause, press the lower back down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, take the elbows to the left, straighten the right leg out. About 45 degrees to the floor, not too low. Pull the lower belly down. Inhale, bend the knee, bring the head and shoulders to the middle. Pause, press the lower back down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, both elbows go right. Left leg straightens out, lower belly pulls down. Inhale, bend your knees, bring the elbows to the middle. Keep cultivating whatever quality you want to cultivate. Pause, press the lower back down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, take both elbows to the left. Straighten the right leg out. Straighten the leg right out. Pull the lower belly down. Inhale, bend the knee, bring the elbows to the middle. Press the lower back down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows go to the right. Left leg extends. Have the foot active, pull the lower belly down. Inhale, bend the knees, come to the middle. Do one more round. So one more on either side of whatever you're doing right now. Whether it's leg dips or elbow to knee or side bends. Making your Ujjayi breath really loud. And once you finish, then bring all your limbs down to the floor in a comfortable way. And then the next thing we'll be doing abs with a roll, lying on the back, but you need to put something in between the thighs. So take, say, a cushion and fold it up, or roll up a blanket, or a fat yoga block, something like that. Let me give you some options. If you're new to abs, or if your lower back feels sensitive today, I want you to just keep your feet on the floor. You'll just be moving the head and shoulders. If you're feeling more confident with these, you could do them with the legs up off the floor, so knees bent, like knees bent to a right angle, feet about the same height as the knees. If you're like, I'm really going for the fire today, and it feels okay, and if this feels okay in your back, then you could take your legs straight up in the air to do these. And whichever leg position you choose, the legs stay static in that position. It's just the head and shoulders that are moving. All right, inhale and feel the weight of your head resting in your hands. Hands are clasped together. Hold the breath, squeeze your thighs onto your prop, press the lower back down. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up towards the ceiling. Point the elbows up, squeeze your prop and pull the lower belly down. Inhale, head and shoulders come down to the floor. Hold the breath, squeeze your thighs onto your thing, tilt the tailbone up. Exhale, lift head and shoulders up off the floor. Point the elbows to the ceiling, squeeze the thing again, pull the belly down. Inhale, head and shoulders come down. Keep going for that quality that you want. Pause, squeeze the thighs onto the prop, press lower back down, tilt tailbone up. Exhale, head and shoulders lift up off the floor. Keep squeezing the thing, move the lower belly down. Inhale, head and shoulders come down to the floor. Hold the breath, squeeze the thighs onto the prop, press lower back down. Exhale, lift head and shoulders up off the floor. Point the elbows to the ceiling. Keep squeezing the inner thighs, pull lower belly down. Inhale, head and shoulders to the floor. Keep going, do 2 more of those. Try not to let your legs wobble around. Keep them in the same place as you're doing this. Once you have done your extra rounds, then come out of the pose and come to resting for a moment. Just resting whatever way is comfortable, whether that's standing or sitting or lying, just for a breath or 2. Continuing to cultivate your Ujjayi breath and using that Ujjayi breath to help you find whatever it is you need today, whether you're burning off your stress or connecting to the lake of calm inside or stoking your inner bonfire. Like, Ujjayi is fantastic for being able to sort of push your energy up or bring your energy down, depending on what you want. Have that in your intent and let that inform how you breathe. Because you can sort of do the Ujjayi in a way that ramps up the intensity. And you can also do it in a way that's like, okay, I'm really soothing and calming. And you get to choose. Next thing we'll do is bridge. So bend your knees and bring your feet so they're underneath the knees. Feet parallel, arms rest on the floor. And make sure you feel even here, like your hips and shoulders and head feel even. So let's do this in a way it's about strengthening our legs. So inhale and press down through the feet, particularly the heels. Exhale, pressing down through the feet. Tilt your tailbone up and then lift your hips up towards the sky. And then keep your hips lifted and your feet pressing down strongly. If this feels stressful to your back, come lower down. Otherwise, keep the hips lifted. Relax the shoulders and neck, but have your legs, let your legs do some good work here. Bridge people, can you feel your legs yet? Stay there a couple more breaths. Good. Stay there a couple more breaths, like connecting to your legs. Maybe feeling fire in your legs, or maybe just burning off the stresses of the day. Or maybe coming back to the solidity and power of your legs. Okay. Bridge people, come down to the floor. And then everybody come onto your hands and knees. Next thing we'll do is dolphin. So with dolphin, I've got my hands clasped together, elbows a little bit narrower than the shoulders, but down on the floor. If you need to take this really, really gently, keep the knees down, press the forearms into the floor and relax the head forwards. You can work this with the knees down. If you're feeling more comfortable with dolphin, you could tuck the toes under, lift the knees up, coming into this dolphin. I don't know why this is a dolphin shape, but you could do a dolphin with the knees up. If you were having a really I want to go for it day, then you could also lift one leg up and back at the same time. If you're doing the one leg up, say, hold the leg up for 4 breaths and then switch around to do the other leg. So choose whichever one of those you want. Everybody's got the hands on the floor like this. Check the elbows are not wider than the shoulders. And then you're either doing this with the knees on the floor or knees up off the floor. Or maybe knees up off the floor and one leg up. If your leg's in the air, don't have it floppy. Really reach back with the leg. And everybody press down into your forearms and lift the ribcage up away from the floor. Are you still doing Ujay Breath? Keep your Ujay Breath going. One leg up, people, you're on your own breath count, just doing 4 breaths on each side. Straighten out the leg, make that leg really strong. Okay, everybody, once you're done, bring both feet down, both knees down. Next, we'll work with standing Uddiyana. And Uddiyana is one of these things where it's all about bringing the belly back and up and in. So Uddiyana people, let's do this with the feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, knees bent a bit, so you're kind of really in your legs. Good. Take the hands on the belly for this first round, just to feel the action in the belly. Inhale and let the belly relax outwards. Exhale really fast through your mouth. And then holding your breath, pull the belly back and up and in. Holding the breath, pulling everything in here. This is my lasagna from the Holland Hotel. When you need to breathe, let your belly relax and come out. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale fast through the mouth. Hold the breath, pull everything in. Pull in everything from your pelvic floor to your diaphragm, just moving it all in and up. Getting this really interesting action around the abdomen. When you need to, relax the belly and breathe in, and do 2 more rounds in your own time. Feeling for any movement you can get there. Might just be a small movement to begin with if you're new to this. Okay, finish off after that round. And then we'll do some twisting horse stance. So orientating yourself now towards one of the long sides of your mat. Then step the feet about 3 feet apart and angle your feet out 45 degrees. Then bend your knees. So it's like horse stance. Some people call it goddess pose as well. And we'll do a bit of a twist here. Take your hips back a little bit. Great. Have the hands on the thighs. Inhale, knees are bent, and they stay bent. Exhale, take your chest over to the left. Inhale, straighten up the torso, but keep your legs bent. Exhale, chest towards the other knee, towards the right knee. Inhale, straightening up, but legs stay bent. Exhale, going over to the left. Inhale, back to the middle. Keep your feet active too. Exhale to the right. Inhale, straightening up. Keep going. Do 2 more on either side. Make your Ujjayi breath loud. Cultivating whatever you want to cultivate through your practice. And as ever, feeling free to modify any poses at any time if that works better for you. Once you finish those 2 rounds, then straighten up and heel toe the feet back to the center. Next pose we'll do is chair pose. Often we do this as part of a sun salutation and it kind of goes by quite quickly, but I thought we'd do chair and hold it for a bit because it's a great one for strengthening the legs. You have 2 options with this. If you're inside and you have a wall, you could take your back onto the wall, coming into chair on the wall with the back on the wall, feet quite far forward so the ankles are underneath the knee, as if you're sitting on an imaginary chair. Or if you don't have a wall, you can do like a normal yoga chair. I'm wearing skirts, which is just actually too complicated, isn't it? So without a wall, just bend the knees, take the hips back, and then hang out here, either with the hands on the hips, or if you're feeling quite steady, you could take the arms forward. Keep your knees over your ankles as much as you can, lifting the chest up. If this feels straining to your back, definitely do it with the hands on the hips. And you can also try lengthening the lower back by tilting the tailbone downwards. Are you still doing your Ujjayi breath? Using your Ujjayi breath to help you find and help you cultivate whatever you want inside. Can you feel your legs? Good. All right. Come out of chair. Bring the arms down, straighten your legs. Good. And next I wanted to do some Agnisara. This is like Uddiyana, only we're going to do the pulling in thing and then we're going to kind of go from pulling into relaxing, just kind of one after the other without breathing. I'll talk you through it and it'll make sense. Let's come back into horse stance, stepping the feet quite wide apart, turning the toes out 45 degrees, bending the knees. And then the sequence here is you inhale and let the belly relax. Exhale fast through the mouth. Hold the breath and then pull the belly in and out a few times with the breath held. Try not to tense the shoulders. And then that's what we'll do here. So inhale, let the belly relax and soften outwards. If you can, press the hands on the thighs and straighten the arms so the torso is long. Exhale all the air out. Hold the breath and then pull the belly in and out a few times. Great. Let's do 2 more rounds. Inhale, relax the belly outwards. Exhale everything out. Have the feet active. And do that pulling in, relaxing thing. Pulling in, relaxing. Without breathing. You've just got your breath held on empty here. All right, do 1 more round in your own time. Have the chin very slightly tucked in with these. Chin slightly tucked down. Okay, great. Once you finish that round, then heel toe your feet back to the center. And we'll do some standing poses now. So let's start off with Warrior 1 and Birdwing. So we're going to keep working with the legs and the hips, but let's do a few things for the shoulders as well. Turn towards one of the short sides of your mat. Inhale, step the left foot forward and the right foot back. Exhale and bend your left knee. So you're in Warrior 1 with the left knee bent. And then set up for Birdwing. Bring your arms so that the upper arms are in next to the ribs and the hands are in front of the elbows. Inhale and spread the fingers out. Let the shoulders drop down a little. Exhale, take the hands out to the side. Squeeze the upper arms next to the ribs. Squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, hands come closer together. Exhale, hands come out to the side. Squeeze the upper arms in, squeeze the elbows in. Good. Keep going in this pattern. Working with your Ujjayi breath. Developing and cultivating whatever you want inside today. Just calling for that quality to flow through you with your breath. Okay, relax the arms and then switch your legs around. So let's have the right leg forward, left leg back. Inhale, activate your feet and bend the right knee. Exhale, press down into your left heel, left and left foot. Let's do birdwing arms again on this side. Inhale and set up your hands in the position, starting with them in front. Then on the exhale, track the hands to the side, squeezing the upper arms in. Noticing the shoulders and the chest as you do that. Inhale, hands come closer together. Exhale, hands come out to the side. Squeeze the upper arms in. Good. Do a few more like this. Relax your arms and step forwards. We'll come into a standing balancing lunge now. Let's keep the left foot forward and take the right leg back. This time though, balance on your right toes. So you're balancing on the right toes and slightly bend your right knee. Now with the legs, it's probably easier to see with the dark color, isn't it? So with your legs, keep your left knee over the left ankle. Don't let it push forwards. But you're then taking your right knee down in the direction of the floor. The lower you go with the right knee, the more you feel it in the legs. So be at a place where you can hang out and breathe. And then stay here, cultivating your Ujjayi breath. Cultivating whatever you want to cultivate. And either keep the hands on the hips, or if you want to do some movements up and down with the arms, keeping your core and torso quite stable, you could do that. If you're feeling like movement in the arms would be good right now. Or keep the hands stable if you want to be focusing more on your powerful legs right now. If you feel like your lower back is over curvy here, slightly tilt the back of the pelvis down. If you're somebody with a really flat lower back, don't do that so much. You might, if your lower back's really flat, you might want to almost tilt the tailbone back. All right, relax your arms if you're doing the arm thing. Let's switch sides on the legs so that now you'll have the right leg forward and the left leg back, balancing on the left toes. Right knee above the right ankle. Left knee moving down in the direction of the floor. Hanging out here with your breath. Moving the arms if you want to, or working this with the hands on the hips. Recognizing you can use your Ujjayi breath to either ramp up the intensity or to cool the intensity. Whatever intensity you're meeting in your thighs as they work. Okay, let that be the last round. Step forward. And then orientate yourself more towards the long side of the mat. And we'll do triangle next. So step your feet about 4 feet apart. And then for triangle, let's take the left toes out 90 degrees. Right toes in a little bit. Inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, drop your left hand down onto the leg, and then your right hand could either be up in the air, or you could do this with the right hand on the hip. Inhale, spread and activate your feet. Exhale, lift the front of the diaphragm up, and roll the right hand side of your chest back. Make your Ujjayi breath so powerful that it feels like your breath is something that also happens for your legs too. Like the whole of you is breathing. The whole of you is feeling and being and breathing. Okay, inhale and lift up the torso. Exhale, change your legs around the other way. Right toes out, left toes in. Inhale, reach the arms out. Feel the legs as you do that. Exhale, come into triangle. Either with the left arm up in the air or left hand on the hip. Breathing with your powerful Ujjayi breath. And if you are generating heat inside, using that to help melt any of the stuff you don't want, any of the stresses or stuckness. Just let the breath wash it away, whether your breath is water today or fire today. Okay, ease up out of triangle. And then turn the feet forwards and then step them closer together. Next, we'll play with Warrior 3. Now, Warrior 3 is a balance. So if you feel super wobbly, be near something that you can hold on to, or be next to a wall, something like that you could stabilize yourself on, or you can really control how far you go into that. So let's start just by bringing weight onto the left foot, working with the hands on the hips, and just tilting forwards like, 10 degrees. So like your torso is going forwards and your right leg is going back, just like a little bit. And you could stay here in Warrior 3. And if you're pregnant, say, feel kind of how far feels useful to go. Do support yourself with something underneath your hands if that feels helpful. If it feels okay, you could go further in Warrior 3. You could go further in Warrior 3, leaning forwards to more of an angle. So your torso is coming forwards, the leg is going back, maybe even going towards a horizontal. If you're kind of in a horizontal and you're feeling really stable there, you could then maybe also take the arms forward. But don't do that unless you're at the horizontal. Work with the hands on the hips, because that's kind of, you're kind of more in the core and the legs, which is where this is at. Straighten out the leg that's in the air. Like, make it active too. And breathe. Okay, ease back upright. And then switch to the other side. Bring your weight into the right leg. And then to begin with, just tilt like 10%, or like 10 degrees, say. So your torso's coming a little bit forward, your left leg's coming a little bit back. Just feeling into that, all that work that's happening. Straightening out the leg that's in the air. Just playing with Warrior 3. And if you want to go further and go more towards a horizontal, feel free to do that. But be at a place where you're still working with your Ujjayi breath. Try to resist the temptation to go into like a forward bend here. Like keep the torso and the leg in a straight line. Okay. And then straighten up. Come out of Warrior 3. Let's do a balance or two before we come down to the floor. Your next option is either tree pose or standing pigeon. Again, if you need a bit of extra support, have your hand on a wall or a piece of unmoving furniture. And let's do the standing on the left leg first. If you want to do tree, which is a little bit easier, bring your right foot onto the ankle or onto the shin or onto the inner thigh. If you're having an adventurous day, you could do standing pigeon. Reach your hands towards the right foot, and then you're lifting that foot up and in towards the chest. Working this with your Ujjayi breath. Either standing pigeon or tree. Tree is also good here as well. And if you're in tree and you want to do something tree-like with your arms, feel free. Staying with your breath, staying with that feeling of your legs, even if they're a little bit wobbly by now. Okay, let's go to the other side. So bringing your weight into the right leg now, and either setting yourself up in tree with the foot on the ankle, or the shin, or the inner thigh. Or if you wanted to do that standing pigeon, then catch hold of your left foot with both hands. Bring the foot forwards and up and then in towards your chest. And tree people, feel free to extend your branches in any way that's pleasing right now. And just make sure that the wind, your breath, is supporting you either as a tree or a pigeon. Okay, come out of tree or standing pigeon. Let's do one more standing balance, which is eagle. It kind of looks a little bit like this. So the legs are crossed over and the arms are crossed over. Now, if you're newer to yoga, or if you're feeling wobbly today, or if like balance is like your least favorite thing, then feel free to just do either the arms or the legs, particularly if you're new to this pose. So I'll show you the arms first, and then you can also come into the legs if you want to. So lift your elbows up in front of you. And then let's do this, crossing the left elbow on top of the right elbow. Cross the elbows over, and then you might be able to take the backs of your hands or the palms of your hands towards each other. Okay. If you also want to do the legs, and you don't have to, inhale and bend both knees. Exhale, pick up your right leg, cross it over the left leg. Squeeze your inner thighs together. You could do this with the toes on the floor. You might be able to wrap the leg all the way around the other one. But keep the leg you're standing on bent. Have the left leg bent. Wash your breath through you. Continuing to work with your intention of cultivating whatever you want to cultivate inside. Okay, uncross your arms, uncross your legs. And then let's start by crossing the arms over the other way. And again, feel free to just do arms or legs if you want to make this a bit simpler. So let's have the right elbow on top of the left this time, if you're doing arms. Keeping the elbows crossed, taking the backs of the hands or palms together. They might not do that, you might just be here, that's okay. And if you're doing legs, inhale, bend both knees. Exhale and pick up your left leg. Cross it over the right leg. Does this feel like the other side? If it doesn't, do the other one. Bend the leg your weight is on. Squeeze your inner thighs together. And infuse everything with breath. Invite your Ujjayi breath in as your ally. This is powerful focus to help you create the practice that you want. Okay, unwind your arms and unwind your legs. And let's do 3 or 4, I think of this as being like when dogs jump out of rivers and they kind of shake themselves around. But if you inhale through your nose and then exhale through your mouth and have a good shake. So inhale through the nose and then exhale. Just doing that a few times. Moving and wobbling, however feels good for you right now. Good. Before we come down into Shavasana, let's do a standing forward bend. Let's do this with the feet quite wide apart, like 3 or 4 feet apart. This time feet are parallel. Great. Inhale, activate the feet, but soften your knees. Exhale, hinge from your hips and come into a forward bend. If your lower back feels sensitive, support your back with your hands on your thighs so you don't go too far. If it feels fine to go further, let the arms hang down and come further. Inhale with Ujjayi, hearing the whispering quality of your breath. Exhale, relax your head, your neck, your jaw. Staying with your Ujjayi breath. And then ease out of this. Back up to standing. And then make your way down onto the floor into whatever version of Shavasana feels good for you. So maybe if you're pregnant, lying on your side, otherwise maybe lying on the back, or if you have a particular way you like to do Shavasana, setting yourself up in that now. Making yourself super comfy. Taking any extra props you need to be warm. However many layers you need today. And close your eyes and surrender to the support of the earth. If you feel like you want to continue to cultivate your quality and it feels good to stay with the Ujay Breath through Shavasana, feel free to do that. Say if you're generating heat and you're really enjoying that, feel free to continue it. Or if you want to let go of all effort in the breath, that's also a good option too. Allowing yourself this time in stillness to recharge your batteries in a different way. Deepen your breath. And notice what you've cultivated through your practice. And congratulate yourself for taking that time and taking that focus. And for developing that ability to choose the energy within you and to choose the energy and feelings and internal environment that you want. Now, if you want to stay resting in Shavasana for longer, do feel free. Do feel free to stay resting there. Nobody else is going to come and take your yoga spot. You can stay there and rest. But if you know that you need to move and to do things, then bring some movement in slowly. Feeling that shift from stillness to movement. Allowing yourself time to wake up and to come back to an upright position if that's what you want to do now. And feel free to stay resting on the floor if you want to. Thank you so much for joining in this practice today and cultivating the inner fire, or cultivating whatever you wanted to cultivate in the practice. I'd love to practice with you again another time, so do check out my YouTube channel for some freebie classes. Or if you want more sessions with me, I do have a monthly membership program, all the yogas, where you can access lots and lots of pre-recorded classes, live Zoom classes, pop-up workshops, and all sorts of other fun stuff.